Hey everyone, thanks for clicking on the video. I just finished setting a tree stand on the other side of this field over here, a place where I actually have a trail camera up at the head of the field at a really good pinch point where the fence had fell down. It's been a really good spot for me. Even before the fence fell down, it was a good jump spot. Deer kind of like to cross right there. But now that the fence is down, they continue to do so, and they just come, right through where it's fell down. And I've had a camera there now, up until this point. This is the end of October. I still haven't been hunting yet. I've never went this long without getting in the woods. I do have some days set aside next week where I'm going to try to get in the woods for a couple days before bow season goes out. There's a new property I'm really excited about, which I'm getting ready to go to after this to pull some SD cards. The best stuff that I get from this SD card pull, which I'm going to do today, this evening, and I'm going to do again in 2 days is Halloween. I'm going to do it on Halloween. And then try to get you guys a video and get it put out before hunting season actually starts here in my particular state later in the week. My favorite thing to run trail cameras on this time of year, of course, is mock scrapes, because I'm scouting for deer season. And my favorite thing about mock scrapes is just seeing that interaction with deer, trying to get the antlers at different points of view and, that kind of thing. I just set a camera in behind the GoPro, and I'm going to take this camera and I'm going to set it as another camera at that pinch point I was just telling you about on the fence line where the fence had fell down. This year I've been running multiple cameras at each location that I like. I just don't want to miss anything. So I'm going to take it and run it as a second camera at that location. That'll be the last camera I set for this year. But everybody asks me, how do you get these animals, acting like they act in front of the camera? Well, this is where a buck or bucks established a licking branch last year. I noticed it was cleared out in postseason scouting. I love to scout postseason, and they were using this as a lick branch. I've already applied some of this to the end of it. Over here, I decided in January to put a hemp rope. It's been airing out since January, so it's pretty much, it's don't have a lot of odor to it except for what's natural to it. I don't know if deer have been using it thus far or not, but I've already applied some, and my favorite stuff to use on this is pre-orbital gland lures. In my state, I'm not allowed to use anything that's real. I have to use synthetic. So a lot of people kind of got upset about that. They like to kick out a place in the ground and take your Tink 69 and put it down. Tink 69 has synthetic out now. I think it works just as good. When we made that move to synthetic stuff, I never saw any kind of degradation in how many animals I get or how they act or anything. If anything, that first year I went to a spray. I can't remember, Walmart was carrying it. It was in a yellow and white container, but whatever it was, it was fire. They only carried it for one season and quit carrying it. I can't remember what the name brand was, but it was fire. So I realized then going synthetic's it's not a negative. But my favorite stuff that I'm using now is the Code Blue. It's the pre-orbital gland synthetic, and this particular application is a wax applicator. And you could screw it out, it's almost like chapstick or something like that, and then you could just rub it on stuff. What I like about the wax is it's going to hold up good, at least in theory, to weather. So I like the idea of that. But instead of, I don't put anything on the ground. There's nothing on the ground right here, absolutely nothing. I just kick it out for the eye attractive part of it, and I put stuff here, and I angle my cameras to where I want to get stuff. I want to get those animals. It's something cool about watching an animal work, especially a vertical lick branch. I'm really starting to go towards vertical stuff, whether it be the rope. My favorite thing, what I think works the best probably, is going to be using pieces of vine. So yeah, the vertical stuff is really cool. I'm really getting into that. So you should see some of that on the video. I've got several spots set up. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for clicking on here, and I hope you really enjoy it. And hopefully I've got some really good stuff to show you, and I'll be putting the best clips in this video. want to show you guys one of the vertical lick branches that I come up with that I'm really excited about. I've got a few of these out to where what I've done is I've taken vine and I've cut sections out of it, maybe 6 to 8 inch sections, and I've drilled holes through it, through every section, right through the middle of it. Got a big long drill bit and just drilled holes all the way down through each section. And then I took rope up here and run it down through the middle. So it's not just a stiff piece of vine, it's got play in it. It'll actually move and bend and stuff, which I think would be very attractive to a buck that's really riled up, wanting to work at branch. So I'm pretty excited about that particular setup. I just hope the bears don't tear it up too bad, and hope it holds up to them. Hey everyone, I'm on a piece of property that I've been on for 18 years. I've hunted it on again, off again. And one of the things I noticed when I first came here is there was a couple apple trees, and then there was this late season pear tree. I call it late season because I've seen it drop pears, literally be dropping pears the beginning of January. It's really weird. This is the first day of November, and we just had a weather front come through, and so it's knocked its first real good batch down. I mean, the ground is absolutely blanketed with these pears, and some of these pears are really good size. I mean, look at this one over here. And that thing's as big as a daggone apple. So this is a huge draw to all the wildlife on this property. I mean, it really draws the game in here. It lets me know a great inventory of everything: bears, coyotes, deer. My number 2 shooter buck this year, which is the biggest buck on this particular property, has already been in front of the cameras, but he was nocturnal. So I'm hoping he starts to show up during the day, and if he does, I'll know because of these cameras. Got a couple cheap cameras set up. They don't have the best resolution in the world, but they'll let me know what's going on here. And the reason why I like them is they're so quiet. I've got coyote right here during the daylight and the night, chomping on pears, camera turning on, turning off, turning on, turning off, and it never once spooked. It never once paid attention to the cameras. These 2 cameras are just really good for that. I got the other one set on that tree right over there, and I just now put a Browning up. Although I'm not sure, in the old days when I used to run a camera on this, I got all kinds of cool stuff of bears and raccoons going up and down the tree to shake stuff out. But that particular Browning's been on the fritz here lately. I'm not quite sure if it's going to work. I got fresh batteries in it, new SD card, but the LCD's not working on it, so I can't be for sure whether or not it's on or not. But I'm hoping it does something for us, some high quality video. But if not, I've still got these other 2 cameras up, so I'm gonna know what's going on here. right, here's one of the few that I've got that has survived bear attacks. Since January, I've had these things out, airing out, and this one's actually survived. I've had a camera on it for the last little bit, but it's still hanging good. I think the reason why the bears haven't been able to do much with it, it's on a real springy green branch. So they just, there's nothing brittle there they can break off. It's got a lot of play in it, but it's in a beautiful spot where I've killed multiple bucks, and actually killed Trash over there, and I killed Hightower up yonder, a little bit further up the hill there. But got my trail camera over here that I'm working on. I'm getting ready to put some new batteries in it. I'll show you what I've got thus far. My tree stand's right there. I've got the seep down there. I love to run cameras on the seep. Deer love to drink that muddy, silty water. Just a beautiful bow in here. Hopefully it's getting a little bit of action on trail camera. All right, on this particular piece of property, this is the vertical lick I'm most excited about establishing this year. It's at a four-way intersection, and that all up in there is absolutely loaded with acorns. There's trail comes around the ridge right here. Of course, the trail comes down out of there, goes out through there just a little bit, kind of faint, and goes down the hill a little bit to the fields. But what I did was I come in here and I put a smaller piece of vine, but I tied it off way up high. So it'll move good. It'll have a lot of good movement for a buck. It's not jointed or anything like the other ones I've done, but it's so small, and the way it moves up there, I think it'd be good. I had put this here last year, just kind of bolted it into a knot here in the tree, and it just never did anything. It's got a little play in it. It just never did anything for me. I'd had a camera on that, but now I have a camera on this tree down here. So we'll get some new batteries in the camera. It's November the 2nd. Sweet November's upon us. This ridge, I mean, you wouldn't believe this still yet. The sound of acorns coming down is incredible. I've got a tree stand right over there. I've got a stool down the ridge just a little ways where I can creep up out of the field and just kind of sit down on the stool. If it seems like there's a lot going on up here, I don't want to bump no deer. So it's a really good spot. I really like it, and I think it's got some potential. I might take a little bit to get it established, but once I get it established, it's gonna be good. I got a camera right there. I got a camera right there on the tree. This is a spot where last year I just got on this property this past December, and I run a camera here with it's just a travel way. And I got some incredible stuff just with using it as a travel way. And this year I've got a mock scrape set up with just using vines to kind of prop it up and do a vertical lick branch. Come in here just a little bit ago and bear done tore it down. So got it put back up and getting ready to re-lure it, and if I can just keep the bears off of it, then you know, it should be really good for getting some good stuff this year. Hey Al, you ain't a bit afraid of me, are you? You are a big ol' owl. Wish I had my good camera. You were so cool looking. You ain't a bit afraid of me. Good Lord, I wish I had my camera. You are beautiful. You ain't a bit afraid of me. Hey, look down here. I see you, buddy. I see you, buddy, you big ol' wise. All right, buddy, thanks for the encounter. I enjoyed looking at you. Just wish I had my good camera with me. Or at least my cell phone or something where I could zoom in. I put the GoPro on linear and zoomed it in as far as it'd go. You just don't do too good like that. Go on, buddy. Come on.
For more awesome content, like and subscribe now.